welcome, dude. It's been a while. Haven't seen you in a while.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, it has been a while since I've been down here. I was trying to think. It's probably been 3 or 4 years since I've
I
actually been
think
to the
just at
compound.
least, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What have you been up to in that last 3 or 4 years?
Well, it's been a stretch. Trying to think. I was this past summer had a great trip. Rode up through the Alaska Canada Highway and up to northern Alaska and Prudhoe Bay. Did the Dalton Highway.
Damn.
Yeah, it was a blast. Came back and then did the Dempster Highway. So that was a whole stretch up to Tuktoyaktuk in the Northwest Territories.
How'd you say that again? The
Yeah,
what?
Tuktoyaktuk in the Northwest Territories. So it's as
Wow.
far north as you can drive in Canada.
Really?
Yes, like in the yeah.
Is that so? That's not off the Alaskan Highway or whatever that one that
So
that.
yeah, the Alcan goes from Dawson Creek, British Columbia, and then heads up through Delta Junction in Alaska.
Okay.
And then there's a Dalton Highway, which is in northern Alaska, and the Dempster Highway is in the Yukon and Northwest Territories.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so they're
And you did all this solo?
all solo. Did a fundraiser with Crisis Text Line.
Okay.
So mental health, you know me, it's always been an important
Right,
kind of
right.
topic for me. So did some fundraising for them, and yeah, had an amazing time. It was about 8,600 miles.
Damn.
Yeah, probably two 1,500 to 2,000 of which were all gravel.
Really?
So fun. Yeah, it was a great a great way to spend 6 weeks. So.
Wow. So you did that in 6 weeks, and what kind of bike did you do it on?
So I picked up a 2018 BMW GS Adventure.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
I've been looking at those, man. That looks amazing.
They're fun, and I mean, I tell you what, I love my Harley,
Right.
but this bike, just for as much gravel and as off-road stuff as I was going to
Right.
be doing, and then I wanted to have something that was a little bit more durable and able
Yeah,
to tackle the
something.
gravel roads.
Yeah,
and,
yeah. I
it
mean,
gives you
I've
some options.
ridden some gravel on my Harley, and I
Yeah.
couldn't imagine doing 1,500 miles on gravel
No.
on my Harley. It would be a little ridiculous.
It's amazing how even it's about 250 pounds lighter than my Street Glide,
Right.
and it's still a heavy
Yeah.
bike.
Oh, that's a
So,
big machine.
yeah, absolutely.
Huh. So what? How many miles a day were you think you were doing?
It just depends. I did end up doing a couple of big days, but I had some great short days too. And the scenery up there is amazing. So just able to explore and kind of take the time. I didn't have a real rigid itinerary, but I had some friends along the way where I was able to stay, and so it kind of helped break up.
Right. That's
my,
cool.
trip.
So when you say, can you tell me a little bit more about this the mental health thing you did for it? Like, how did you team up with them? How did that
Yeah.
work with the riding?
So, well, Crisis Text Line is, an amazing organization. I've volunteered with them as a crisis counselor since 2021. So you can text into Crisis Text Line and get in touch with a volunteer crisis counselor 24 hours a day all over the U.S.
Oh, cool.
So
Okay.
it's a great resource. So I just have been involved with them for a long time, and through their organization, they have peer-to-peer fundraisers.
Okay.
So I jumped on and created one, and yeah, we just did some branding and some QR codes on the bike, and was able to had some amazing conversations along the way, and just another one of those great benefits of being out on the bike and being able to do something for me.
Right.
That's such a great, like, part of the reasons why I love riding are because I can let the rest of
You can
the
touch
world
people.
go.
Yeah,
and
you can meet people.
Yeah.
That old saying, you meet the nicest people on a motor when you're riding motorcycles.
yeah, it's an absolute blast.
Yeah,
So,
that's cool.
but speaking of riding,
Uh-huh.
you've picked up a new little toy.
I
since the
have.
last
I
time we
have.
talked.
She's a beaut. The wife says I deserved it. I guess it was time.
the new
It was
toy.
time.
Yeah, for sure. You're enjoying it so far.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
It's like a spaceship. I'm still learning the controls and everything, but I'm going from a 103 twin cam to a 121 M8.
Yeah.
It's a rocket ship. It's so
Absolutely.
much fun, dude. So much fun. Yeah, I
It's
can't
beautiful.
wait.
It's beautiful. I love that color too.
Dude,
that
it
red.
is. It's like a Ferrari color.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2025 CVO ST Road Glide. It's just Dude, it was built for the track.
Yeah.
It's like a crotch rocket Harley. It's wild. There's sport mode and track mode and all kinds of crazy shit. It's
All
wild.
sorts of adjustments. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
fun trying to figure out
yeah.
that process of dialing them in.
I'm quickly finding out that I need to go 2 over on it already, though.
Yeah.
I'm already dragging it through every corner, and I already even put my mid controls back on it off of
Okay.
the other bike, and it's still just dragging the pegs through every
Yeah.
corner, just street riding. So yeah,
Tell me, like, how did you or when did you kind of get into riding? Like,
when did I get into
yeah.
riding? Oh man, that's what I was just gonna ask you. Well, I guess we'll go back and forth on this. When did I get into riding? I think, let's see. My first experience on a motorcycle was my dad had his stepbrother's, I think it was a 77 or 78 Yamaha 125 sitting in our old barn in the shop out on the farm. And it was seized and it sat in the corner for years. And I just always stared at it, but I knew nothing about motorcycles. My parents didn't, they rode, but before I was born. So I didn't really have we're farm kids. We didn't really have motorcycles, and we drove tractors and moved irrigation pipe and never really had time. But as I got a little bit older, I started hanging out with some kids from school, and this one kid raced dirt bikes, and he'd always come over and he's like, "Let's get that thing running." I'm like, "How?" It's seized. And he like took the top end of it off and took a hammer and broke the
Broke it
piston
loose.
loose with just like a hammer and a wooden dowel, and we rode that thing all summer, and that was like the first experience for me on a motorcycle. It was pretty cool. And then just throughout the years, more and more and more, I was just infatuated. What about you?
Yeah, growing up, I did a lot of cycling. I was always on BMX bikes. It was my main source of transportation as a kid. I
Yeah.
was always on my bike. And my older brothers, had at one point had a bike, and I was visiting him, and he was like, "Why don't you just, take my bike out?" So he had a Suzuki V-Strom, a DL650, and so I just would kind of rip it around his neighborhood when I was visiting. And I was going over, I was going to go spend a year in Serbia, and he kind of offhanded made a comment. He was like, "You should get your endorsement and buy a bike when you're over there." And as soon as he said it, I was like, "You know what? Like, that's a really good idea." So I was over there. I ended up buying my first bike when I was living in Serbia, and
Really?
had spent the winter there, and it was kind of with the intent of at the end of the hockey season, which was I was there coaching youth hockey program, and got on the bike at the end and did kind of an 8 country tour. I'd probably had 1,000 miles on a bike before, and I
Really? And
jumped
then
on.
you
Yep.
just took off on an 8 country tour.
Yeah. So all former Yugoslavia. So I started in Serbia, Bosnia, Croatia, Montenegro. Um, yeah, Albania, Greece, Bulgaria, and back,
No
and
way. How old
yeah,
were
it
you
was a
doing when you did
blast.
this?
Oh, this was 2015, so just 10 years ago.
Okay,
So
so you're over there coaching hockey,
yeah,
and then you just decide I'm going to get a bike and I'm going to go tour 8 countries.
yeah. So
That's
just
rad. What
started
kind of
her.
bike?
So I had it was the same bike as my brother's, just a few years older. It was a Suzuki V-Strom.
Oh, no
So
way.
yeah, DL6. It was great, and it was one of those things where there were tons of great resources out there. If I had issues, easy to get parts. Didn't think it was going to be,
Right.
it's a
Yeah.
pretty safe kind of choice, and yeah, so it was a blast, and that was the first real, like, it was the first motorcycle I'd owned, and other than riding it around town once I'd picked it up,
Right.
I mean, I
Just
hadn't
took
ridden
off.
really. Yeah,
So you
so
really learned motorcycling on that trip.
yeah, it
You
was trial by fire for
Wow.
sure.
And they ride on the other side of the road there?
No, not in
No?
Serbia.
Not in
Yeah,
Serbia?
yeah.
Same
So
side?
yeah, we were most
And
of the
you
places I was were all on the right hand
did
side
you
of the
do
road.
that one solo too?
So I did that one solo. I do most of my trips solo, which I've been lucky enough to have a few of now.
Really?
But I always use things like couch surfing, and then here in the States, Bunka Biker's another great resource,
Yeah, yeah.
which have been great just in terms of meeting other people that are into motorcycles, and kind of a great network when you're someplace that
Right.
if you run into issues, or the both have been great for
Right.
my trips. But yeah, I did that trip, spent another winter away, came back to Serbia, picked up my bike, and then went north and rode Hungary and all the like the Baltic states and up through Finland and Sweden and Norway and so been fortunate enough that I've ridden in about 30 countries.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's and
so the
from nothing
really
to picked up and motorcycle camping
just
all
gone
over. Yeah,
wherever. That's amazing.
yeah,
So the hockey got you to the countries.
yeah.
How does that all fit in? How does the hockey bring you to around to the motorcycles? How does
Yeah. So I played, hockey growing up here in Portland. My dad was a sports writer back in the late '60s, early '70s.
right?
So I fell in love with hockey at a young age and played at a small college in Minnesota, and then worked in collegiate and professional hockey here. So I was a director of hockey operations for a couple of college teams, so the University of Notre Dame, Michigan State. And
Wild.
then I became the video coach for the Minnesota Wild. Ironic that you would say
Really?
that. Yeah. And so I had been involved in sports for a long time. I spent 3 years living out in Newfoundland as a video coach for their American Hockey League team, which is like the development league for
Okay.
the
Okay.
NHL. So yeah, the NHL team send all their prospects to an American Hockey League team,
Okay.
and yeah, worked with them for 3 years, and then had kind of got to a point where I needed a change, and this organization sends volunteers over to Eastern Europe mostly, and yeah, so you go and work with the Youth Hockey Association. So I moved in and uh, had a little apartment, and a coach from Canada was with me. So the two of us worked together and
Right.
kind of helped them rebuild their Youth Hockey Association.
That is wild.
It was a really neat experience and a fun way to take something like hockey. For me, had kind of become a business, and it was work, and it was less fun than it had been originally. And then
Right.
to go back and see these kids that were just excited, and that smile, that's like that, to see them love playing hockey as much as like that's the feeling I get when I get
Right.
on my bike, right?
Yeah,
So it's
no,
like,
exactly.
so it was a fun way for me to kind of tie the two things together. But
Yeah.
that's what took me there.
That's
And
so
then
weird. Who would ever thought that hockey would lead you into a life of riding motorcycles all over the world,
yeah,
basically?
it's been a great way to, like I said, because I was new to it and just fortunate enough that I had the opportunity and I said yes. So yeah, so I've been able to ride in a lot of different places now, which has been great.
That's really
So
cool. So when I first met you, I think you just, well, it's been, like we said, 3 or 4 years. You were just finished with the Make Lemonade tour, right?
yeah,
And I want to hear about that. But what got you into? I mean, we heard what got you into the writing. What got you into the? Hey, now I'm going to use writing as a tool to bring awareness to such and such. What? Uh,
yeah, yeah. So again, I, I enjoy riding, and it
right.
does good things for me, and it's just a great release for me and a great way for me to spend my time and energy because it is so much fun and I get such a benefit from it. And I, was having a conversation with somebody that's very important to me, and they were talking about how poorly they felt, and I for a long time. So like I've had my own mental health struggles, and
Mm-hmm.
decided when I had that, like, so this was years ago. This was probably early 2000s, and I wrote all my nieces and nephews a letter and just kind of explained to them how I was feeling and what I was going through, so that if they felt that way, that they might reach out sooner, and not
Right.
to me necessarily, but to anyone. But I just felt like if they knew that somebody that they cared about and was in their family had dealt with those
Yeah.
sorts of struggles,
Right.
that it might give them just a way to not feel like they were going through it alone or that they were isolated in some way. And so then years later, when I was talking to this person and they were kind of going through it, I just asked myself why I was only willing to talk about it with my family. And it
Okay.
just became an important topic for me to be willing to talk about with people in general.
Right.
And so being able to kind of marry the two things together, and to be out on the road and doing something that was great for my mental health,
And be able to share that with other people.
and just
And
giving
yeah.
people the opportunity to kind of feel like they could talk about their own, whether it was with me or with somebody else. And I'm always amazed that when I talk to people about mental health, that 9 times out of 10, it's touched their life in some way, either directly or indirectly.
Right.
And so it's been a great way for me to spend my time, and fortunately, like I said, to get involved with crisis text line, and
Right.
do some volunteer work on that, and then to kind of help drive some good through something that does me so much
Yeah.
good. So
I often think, like you said, you talk to people that are affected by mental health or seem like they're just having a bad day. Sometimes I just think to my mind, I don't maybe say it to them, but like, you need to ride a motorcycle.
well,
People that don't ride motorcycles don't understand the joy that you can get out of it. I don't know, there's just something about it.
I tell you, it usually takes me about 100 feet before I start smiling.
Right.
It's like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
get
yeah.
everything geared up,
Yeah,
get on the
yeah,
bike, get out of the driveway, and I'm like,
yeah,
oh man, this feels so
yeah.
good.
Mine's coming through this door and turning the light on, and
Yeah.
oh,
Well, you've got quite the little shrine
yep,
here.
got a
This is
little collection going on.
yeah,
Some I call that the misfits, like toy misfits from the movie. That the little corner over there is a few people's bikes over there that are they've come to stay,
absolutely.
not leave.
Well, you do a lot of your own work too, right?
Yeah, I do. I really started getting into like really doing a lot of work for people, and it got overwhelming with the regular, 9 to 5 job and everything, and so I kind of tapered off. I've been downsizing. I still do some bolt-on
Yeah.
stuff, tire change. I kept the tire machine just because it's easier and nicer to do
Absolutely.
tires for myself and friends and everything. Kind of become a learning garage,
Yeah.
more or less. Friends come over, start riding or have been riding. Hey, I've never changed the oil on my bike before. Can you show me? Sure. Here's the wrenches. I'll tell you how to do it, or show you.
Yeah.
But you're gonna do the work. But
There's
it's just
something
gonna.
can be kind of therapeutic
Well, and
about
that to
the
me,
process.
for me, like how you do it for the mental health thing, my whole hug dealer thing, it's part of the Crash Inc. brand and everything. But I feel like that's my way of sharing the love, just helping people, really. And, it's not a shop you're going to come in here and get a big bill for. Your bill is, come in here, give me a hug, and learn something, and maybe teach me something, and just spread a positive attitude, right?
Absolutely.
And to me, that's what motorcycling has brought me, is just smiles,
Yeah.
miles of them.
Yep.
So the Make Lemonade tour, I'll get back to that. When I first met you, you had just finished it, and this was another kind of the same thing what you just finished, but just
Yeah.
a different.
Yeah, I sort of so interestingly, when I started the Make Lemonade tour, which is my Instagram channel, like it was almost a way initially to protect me.
Okay.
I wanted to be more vocal about it, but I also was worried. Hockey, the industry that I had worked in for a long time, I kind of wanted a little insulation, and I didn't necessarily know how folks in that industry would take being involved in that,
Okay.
and
Okay,
being
I
a
see what-
spokesman for that in
Right.
terms of if I ever wanted to go back to work in that industry. Fortunately, I think kind of the atmosphere around mental health discussions has gotten a lot better since
Right.
then.
Right.
But that was kind of why I created
Okay.
that social media channel. But the trip that you're talking about was another big trip where I left Portland, went down to the coast here, and then I wanted it to be a true coast to coast trip, and kind of the rough route was from here through Austin, Texas, out to Savannah, Georgia. Spent some time in Savannah, and then went up, did the Tail of the Dragon, the Cherahela Skyway, the Blue Ridge Parkway,
Now
to
you're talking my
Pittsburgh,
language. God.
and then started my way back home. But yeah, through Milwaukee, and the school that I went to was near the Minneapolis St. Paul area,
Okay.
so I stopped in Minnesota for some college friends. But yeah, I don't know why I love the big trips, and
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
tack the miles on, and
Easy to put 1,000-mile day down easily. It's like,
especially on bikes like
Oh,
my Street Glide,
yeah.
and that and that
right.
that
What
bike
year?
too.
What year is your street line?
19.
19.
Yeah.
So it's an M8.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
How many miles you got on it now?
49,000, I think.
You're getting up
so,
there.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's trying to think. I've now put 16,000 on the BMW too. So
Dude,
which I've only had since May.
I want
So
to ride one so bad. Did you buy that brand new? The GS?
no, this was a used bike that I picked up. So I know those roads up there are notorious for just
Washboard and like
yeah,
just
and
gnarly
the dirt
gnarliness.
and grime, and
Right.
like they're really hard to get clean after,
Gotcha.
so I
Gotcha.
knew the Harley wasn't going to be the right
Right.
choice for me, not the Street Glide anyways. I've seen people do it.
Right.
There
Oh
are
yeah,
definitely
yeah,
Harleys
for
up
sure.
there, but I just didn't think it was going to be the one I wanted to do it on.
If you were gonna do another cross country trip, would you take the GS or would you take the Harley?
uh, it's a tough question. I think that the Harley is just such a fun experience, and it's
Yeah.
more soulful
And
to
laid
me.
back, it's soulful and laid back almost, right?
Yeah. I just it's nice to have it's nice to have the options of jumping down a gravel road or
Right. So if it was a trip designed around, hey, I'm going to take all back roads, let's do the GS.
maybe yeah.
But if you're just on a cruise cross country, probably the Harley.
Something about just open highways and just going that the
Yeah.
Harley is just great for.
Yeah.
And I love that bike. It'll be hard for me to. I probably won't. I've been lucky enough that I've been able to keep both bikes, and I probably won't long term, but
Right.
haven't settled into which one.
Oh,
I'm
that'd be a
gonna-
tough call, man. That'd be
Yeah.
a really tough call.
The riding position of the Harley is just great. I just feel so comfortable, and you're just
You're laid back.
Yeah, it's really really.
But you can
nice.
still get down, get in some crazy corners, go ride the dragon on it and still have
Absolutely.
fun.
Absolutely.
When we did it last summer, it's funny how you said you did the Make Lemonade route. It's almost exact, but we did it in reverse last summer when Amber and I did it. We came across the north and came down Savannah, Texas, and across. It was pretty wild. So we did the Dragon 2 up, fully loaded down, and it was.
Oh,
But that.
what did you think? What did you think of the Dragon?
I love the Dragon.
Yeah.
I think it was fun. I would love to go ride it solo, unloaded, set up for it. The only thing is, did you watch so many videos, and even just being there riding it, all the idiots out there.
Yeah.
And the cars are scary. The cars are scarier than the motorcyclists.
Absolutely. It was amazing. It's a neat experience. I'm so glad that I did it. It would be really cool to have that road to yourself and not have to worry about somebody coming across the center.
100%.
Yeah,
Well, what's crazy is it is a great road, but I could go 2 miles right outside of my shop here and have some roads damn near just as good, and I can have them to myself.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a cool. Hey, I've been there. Novelty road kind of thing, but yeah, it check off the list.
Yeah.
But what I enjoyed more was, and I can never pronounce it. You said it, the
Cherahela Skyway.
that was amazing.
I said
that
the same
was
thing.
amazing. Yeah. We rode that, and we got lost bigger than shit coming down off of it. Somehow the GPS turned us a different way, and we ended up back into. I think we were staying in. No, we didn't stay. We kept going. Anyways, yeah. We booked it for Savannah that night, but
Yeah, I'm totally with you. It's not as technical a road, but just great corners, beautiful scenery, much more enjoyable.
we didn't see a single soul when we were up there. Not a single car, not a single bike the whole time.
It's beautiful. You did the Blue Ridge Parkway as well?
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah.
That's fun. That was fun coming down through that. And there's a lot of traffic, but it was still fun. We had enough traffic that it wasn't like stacked where you could still enjoy the hell out of it.
One of the things that really impressed me there was just how much nature there is and how little development there is along the parkway.
Yes.
Which to me was just incredible, just to be able to kind of experience that much, just greenery
Beauty.
and the landscapes and stuff were really really nice.
So
So
it was crazy. I would like to do another trip like that where you can have more time because it's like we
you
did
were on
that.
a pretty short schedule.
Yeah,
as I
we
remember.
went 29 states in 20 days.
Yeah.
So we were booking it. But I mean, we stayed in Milwaukee for 3 days because Amber had a conference. I just kind of screwed around and went to the museum like 3 times and all that. And then we stayed in Kentucky for 2 days. But I wanted to spend some more time in like Memphis and Savannah was really cool. We only stayed the night there, and I'm never camping in Savannah again in my life. The mosquitoes were so bad; it was ridiculous. After that we hoteled it the rest of the time.
Yeah, Savannah's a great. I have a brother that lives in Savannah, and so I was able to stay there and hang
Right.
out for a little while. But
Yeah.
such a cool city.
Really?
Yeah, I really
Have
like
you
it.
ridden much of like the northeastern states, like upstate New York and all that? I heard there's some beautiful riding up there too.
No, I haven't ridden up there yet, but would love to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've driven through the area, like so when the first season when I went to Newfoundland, I drove out
Right.
through like New England and the Maritimes and but have not ridden out there. So
Man.
you guys have any trips planned this summer?
We're thinking about it. We're thinking about we need to get our we need to get that northeastern corner to get all our lower 48.
Okay.
So I think we need them all, and then we need Texas. For some reason, when we came back, we like skirted the top of Texas and came back for some stupid reason. I have no idea why. It just wasn't in the schedule.
Yeah.
So we just kept cruising through, but we'll do it. I think we'll go in reverse this time and go down and then come back up and around.
Yeah.
So Amber was like, before I bought the bike, she's like, why don't you do, like a friend of mine bought a bike back east and was going to ride it out this summer. And she's like, why don't we go buy a bike back east and then just hit those little states and then ride home? And I was not patient enough and I already bought a bike. Whatever.
I mean, nothing says you can't buy another one.
Yeah, well, the GS is looking really, God, I want an adventure bike really bad. I want to experience that. I mean,
They're
I've
fun.
ridden a couple, but not like gone on any trips or anything.
Yeah.
What made you go with the GS?
I mean, it's a big bike.
Yeah, they're monsters.
Yeah, for me, part of it was the shaft drive.
Right.
Just
Reliability.
less maintenance.
Can you even touch the ground?
What's that?
Can you
Well,
even
that's
touch the ground on
that's
that
a
thing?
real issue.
That is.
It's a real issue. It is a big bike, and
Yeah.
I can. I mean, I can't
Obviously,
get both
but-
my feet.
No, you can't touch both feet.
And that was one of the things too, is that it wasn't a lowered bike, so it's a standard bike.
Right.
It does have a kind of a dynamic, like a ride height adjustment, so it kind of
right.
adjusts to weight and the suspension stuff. So it's a nice feature. But yeah, I definitely have to be conscientious of where I'm stopping.
Where
or
you stop and
where
slide
I'm
one cheek to one side or
putting
the
my
other.
feet down.
Yeah.
Not quite
Not that quite,
bad, but yeah, no, you're definitely aware. But you know
Right.
what? I went through the same thing with the Harley. I mean, the Harley is a lot easier to get my feet on the ground, but it's that bike is 800 plus pounds. I knew that
Right.
I was going to make sure that I could park somewhere that I could use the power of the motor to get out of.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
you're not parking it,
No.
so that you got to
No.
push it up out of a parking
Yep.
spot. I'm always so I feel like I was well practiced in that, and I don't know if you've followed the adventure side, but Jocelyn Snow is like an amazing rider, and she's not very tall,
Right.
and so it's I was like, well,
If she can do it, I can do it.
if somebody of her size can
Right.
do it, I mean, obviously I'm nowhere near the skill
Right.
a rider as she is, but I knew that if someone that had that build could pull it off, that I could learn to be a good enough rider
Right.
to handle it. So, and that for me is also kind of part of the GS is there's something about I want to be a good rider on a big bike.
Right.
I'd looked at the Harleys,
At the pans.
at the pan, yeah, I'd ridden one. I went to the Tour Tech rally in Washington a few years ago with my brother, and we were able to demo some bikes and had a really cool experience demoing those. And it's a great bike. Had a blast on it, and I just kind of was looking for used ones and just didn't find the one that spoke to me
Right.
as much as this bike. And
What sold you on the say the GS compared to the pan? What was the like if I was looking what you know what I mean? Like
so for me, the reliability,
right?
just like I said,
Not a
the
Harley.
shaft drive was great.
Yeah.
The I do have aspirations of a bigger, like a South America tour.
Oh, man.
At some point. And not necessarily that I would need it, but the bigger gas tank of the GS Adventure it's like a 7.9 gallon.
Really?
Tank, so
They're
it's
that big?
It's big. Yeah, it's 30
Holy
liters.
crap.
So you have plenty of range.
Yeah, I didn't realize they were that big.
Yeah. Well,
Wow.
so the GS is a little smaller, but
Is it?
the GS Adventure
Okay.
is
Okay.
has a bigger
Huh.
tank. So
Do those bikes, and I've never, I've, besides throwing my leg over one and riding one around the block, features wise, this new bike that I just bought, my Road Glide, I didn't even know it has hold control.
like on a hill.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
Do those
Yep.
style bikes have that too?
Yeah. So
That's
yeah, and this
cool.
is like I said, mine's a 2018. Um, so yeah, it doesn't, but it has all of the, I mean, all of the bells and whistles that I would
Right,
ever want. And
right. Nav, do they have nav on them?
y-
Built in or?
so yeah, they do. I end up using my phone anyways. It's a
Right.
little bit. It's a separate console, so it's not
Okay.
built in like the Harleys are.
Right.
But honestly, on the Harleys, I use my phone anyways too.
Right.
But yeah, but that bike for me was great. It has everything that I need and want.
Maybe you should write it down here and let me ride it sometime.
Heated grips, which were a
Oh,
fantastic
yeah.
addition.
Yeah.
I swear every bike I have will have heated grips from now on. But
Yeah, dude, heated gear.
yeah,
I've been riding for, I was throw a number out there, 20 years, right?
yeah,
On the street. This last year is my first year with heated gear. And I'm like, you idiot, what have I been doing? My God, I
yeah.
don't go anywhere without my heated gear now.
No,
I got to have heated grips and full heated gear.
yeah. It's
Yeah. You rock full heated gear when you go on long trips or just
honestly, I don't have any heated gear.
really?
Yeah,
Dude, you got to do it.
I know. I can imagine.
It's epic.
Yeah, yeah. That was a big reason why I didn't ride down here today. Is I was like,
Oh, kind
I'm
of
not
chilly.
sure. Is it
Yeah.
gonna rain? Is it gonna? And I'm fair weather when it comes in terms of like leaving the house. Like if it's raining out, I'm like I'll
Right,
drive.
right.
But if it's bad weather and I'm out on a trip, like yeah, you just gotta suck it up and ride
Oh
through
yeah,
it.
yeah, you got to do it and be prepared for it, obviously. But
Yeah,
huh?
absolutely. So you guys that New England would kind of be next
Yes, yeah,
radar for
yeah.
you.
That's
You
what we
think that
want
would
to do
be?
for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
I want to go up there, but I want to be able to spend some time doing it. Just take, not do the 29 states, 20 days or whatever how we do it.
Yeah.
Like take 3 weeks. Take 2.5, 3 days to get out there and spend a week out there, and then take our time coming back instead of you know, like when you did the Lemonade and then this last tour, you had a little bit more time, right? You,
Yeah.
you went and you did, short days, long days, but you spent some time in each place. And
Yeah, when I did my trip, the first Make Lemonade tour out to Savannah, I stayed with my brother in Savannah, so I actually ended up staying with him for better part of 2 months.
oh
So,
wow, okay,
so
that's an extended trip.
yeah, it almost made it 2 trips. But it was a neat, and then had friends in Pittsburgh, so I stayed there for 3 or 4 days, and then, like I said,
Right.
had gone to school in the Minneapolis area, so I was there for a week or so, and yeah, it just kind of, for me, it's a great way to see people that are important to me. It's a great way to get out on the
Right.
bike, but it's also, yeah, just a nice way to tie it all together. And
Oh yeah,
yeah, that trip is such a tight,
yeah, it's
time
ridiculous. It
frame
was
that,
a ridiculous, and we did it in August, and I mean coming through Mississippi, it was 103. It was just
90% humidity
oh
probably.
god, it was just brutal,
Yeah.
brutal. And then like I said, the camping. Would you on any of these trips? Do you do much camping, or is it more bunk a biker thing, or do you
Kind
take
of a
the gear?
mix. Yeah, so I'll use both, but like so I always take my camping gear.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
That stuff's come a long way too. Like
Yeah.
the air mattress we bought was amazing. It was like an inch thick, but that thing was comfortable as all get out.
I've had great success at Harley dealerships. A
Really?
lot of times I'll camp at dealerships.
And they don't
So,
care. You just pull up and
generally,
or whatever.
I've just kind of run it up the flagpole when I get there, and I'm like, hey, a chance I can set up, and I
Right.
haven't had anybody. The only issue I've had was that there was a dealership that wasn't sure that they could turn off their sprinklers. And so it's like, so it's just kind of fair warning, like, hey, here's the deal, like they come on early. So,
Right.
so I planned around that. But yeah, I've had some great, and that again just kind of speaks to the community around
Oh,
motorcycling
yeah.
and the folks involved.
100%.
And
Have you ever thought about doing the Hoka Hay? or anything like that? Any of those challenges, rides?
Yeah, I'm always down. I love like kind of a good,
It's crazy. All
yeah.
paper maps, and you have to sleep next to your bike and wildness.
I've been thinking I would like to do the Transamerica Trail, so like the getting across the U.S. on dirt.
That would be really cool. That'd be
Yeah,
a GS ride, right?
that would
That's a
definitely. Yeah, I think I could bang out east on the pavement and
that would
get
be
out
really
there,
cool.
switch tires, and
Yeah,
then come home. So
that would be
I
amazing.
think it would be a really neat experience, but we'll see. Yeah,
Well, I hope you get to do that, and I hope maybe we can get you back on here and you can talk about that and hear all about that. It'd be freaking amazing.
that would be awesome. Thanks for having me. It
Yeah,
was
no
great talking with
problem,
you.
dude. Appreciate being our first guest. Thank you, man.
Absolutely. No, it's great to be here.
Yeah.